Welcome once again to the charm of Williams Roadshow. Thank you for joining me, your host, Charlotte Larkin, as we continue our journey of conversations with the multifaceted artist Tommy Ho. In this exclusive interview, we'll continue to learn more about this man of many hats. I'm told, in addition to your musical activities, that you have a movie background as well. Most recently, you played a role in the film Pottersville. Let's talk about how you got into acting, shall we?
He's Joe Bauer's son. Joe Bauer is the guy that kind of pretty much was Outdoor Life magazine. Irwin Bauer, everybody called him Joe. And I ran into him, and I was in need of work, and he does some sports shows and stuff like that. And he said, well, I got a friend that's doing a movie down in Ocala, Florida. He said, his name's Mark. And so he says, call this number at the movie office for Florida or whatever down there, and they'll tell you where to go. So anyway, I called him and told him, man, I need to talk to Mark. He's doing this film down here. Well, they sent me, but there's two Marks. I went to the wrong Mark and told him I was sent by Partner, and he wasn't there, and his production people were there and everything. And I said, well, I'm Tommy Ho. I'm here to do this film. I said, I'm just here to work on it, work on grip or whatever it is. But he said, well, and I said, Mark knows I'm coming. And they said, well, good, we need you right now. And so I started in doing some stuff and everything. And then the guy's name is Mark Anthony Caluso. And he was doing this film called Nobody's Children, which I ended up writing a song for that they played in the film. So he comes and he doesn't know who the hell I am. I got the wrong guy, but he says, well, since you're here, he says, I kind of like the way you handle yourself. He says, just stay and go to work on it. And then, as it happens, an actor was supposed to do a character actor was supposed to do a part in it. He didn't show up. I ended up doing the character actor thing in the film too. So when I'm in the credits, I'm Grip, an actor, and songwriter on the credits. And then I went on to little things here and there, and then of course here in Hamilton, I ended up another one of those kind of funny deals. There was somebody, New Year's Eve, was supposed to do a show. There was a bunch of people doing a show at the Colgate Inn, and the one guy couldn't do it, so they called me to come in and to open up for the show, just myself. I didn't have my band with me. And I was supposed to get a room for the night, some drinks, and a meal, and a room for the night. So I get there planning to spend the night and everything, have my wife with me. They tell me, well, there's a movie coming into town here, and the director came in earlier, and we figured since you live here, you could go home. We want the room. So, are you okay with that? And I said, yeah, that's fine. I can go change my plans, but that was okay. So I go in to get my pay, they're paying me too. The next day or so, they're talking to the guy at the front desk in there, and he says, that's the director over there that took your room. I said, really? I walked over and I said, so you're the guy that took my room on New Year's Eve, huh? And he goes, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll get you another room and everything for any time you want. I said, no. I said, I know how it works. Everything is not on track in these films and everything. I said, I've worked in films too. He says, you have? I said, yeah. So he pulls me up on his computer and sees credits and stuff I had. He said, well, I've got a spot to fill in this film. he says, you can have dialogue and we'll pay scale and everything. And I said, he says, can you come over? It was on a Saturday that I was there. He says, can you come over Sunday morning here, and I'll meet you here Sunday morning and do a reading. I'll take you over. And actually, it was in this building here. I came over and did the reading. And so I came over and he hands me a thing to look at for 15 minutes, a bunch of lines. I got in front of the camera and read, and he says, you're the man. He says, you're in Nashville, you're good, man. And that's how I got in Nashville.
It is my pleasure to close our show with Tommy Ho's song that was written for the film Nobody's Children. Enjoy. I wish to thank you, Tommy Ho, for joining me in conversation on the Williams Roadshow. It has been a pleasure meeting you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we close the show with the cut Nobody's Children from Tommy Ho's new album, Eye of a Dream.
Must have been cloudy the day we were born, 'cause the rain seems to steady come down. No light at the end of the tunnel we're in. Trash in a small southern town. Mamas and daddies just ain't got the time for children with minds of their own. Searching for answers while chasing the wind. Seeds that have never been sown. When you're nobody's children, the pain that you're feeling makes love hard to understand. Only the river shares dreams that you hold. As it crawls through this unpromised land. Social light circles with whispering minds seem immune from the troubles we bear. Make offerings on Sundays and play golf on Mondays, believing they're somehow aware. Send food to the shelters, deductible causes, thinking that they've done their part, while they're whistling Dixie and sipping on whiskey. The family's falling apart. When you're nobody's children, the pain that you're feeling makes love hard to understand. Only the river shares dreams that you hold. As it crawls through this unpromised land. When a dinner plate moon starts to beckon the night, and the river's reflections are friends, vapor trails rise toward the stars in the sky. As you ponder your life once again, a moment of peacefulness touches your heart. For an instant your troubles are gone, but you can't seem to capture this small bit of rapture. You know that it won't last for long. When you're nobody's children, the pain that you're feeling makes love hard to understand. Only the river shares dreams that you hold. As I crawl through this unpromised land, as you crawl through this unpromised land. You're like an evening star that captures the heart of romantics. That's what you are. Glittering light in the eye of a dream that can take me.
Studio services provided by Victeezy.com. Your clicks can make a difference. Stick around to find out how you can easily contribute before you go. It's all about spreading positivity and making an impact. I'm Charlotte Larkin, and you've been watching Williams Roadshow. Until next time, we'll give you someone to talk about.